this episode of Extreme Woodworker. Today I'm going to show you how I made this Bowfront jewelry box and this is a Christmas gift, but I'm going to show you how I made the bow drawers, bowed the front of the cabinet, and what's kind of interesting about this, and let me zoom the camera in. What you'll notice on this box is that from the top to the side, the grain is continuous. And it continues around, and it goes around from the side to the bottom. And then it also goes from the bottom around to the other side. And then from the side to the top, and the grain is continuous all the way around. So I'm going to show you how to do that in this video. I'll cover how to make the drawers, the slides, and also how I made a lock rabbet joint for the front drawer front. This particular box is made from Kleine, which a more common name is African mahogany, and the poles are cocobolo. The drawer bottoms, and I've still got the wrapping on the two top drawers, but the bottom drawer I'm using a blue velour. I'll show you how I use a double-sided adhesive tape to hold that down, and we'll go through the entire process. This is a Christmas gift from my daughter-in-law. I don't think she watches me on YouTube, at least I hope not, because I'm planning on putting this out before Christmas. So stay tuned and enjoy the video. And those are just my reference points. Those are the two faces that go together. This will be important only if you intend on having your continuous grain all the way around, because normally if you were resawing and book matching wood, you would open up like this and it would just be a mirror image. Well, for a continuous grain box all the way around, you're going to do the same thing, except you're going to open the piece this way. So what's going to happen is the outside will become the inside of your box, and the inside of what surfaces you just exposed by resawing will become the outside. And that will give you the best grain match. And you can see that this quarter sawn straight grain, it's going to be it's much easier to match up than say a flat sawn piece, which probably has a bunch of cathedrals in it, and they just don't match up as nicely, in my opinion, or at least I can't imagine that it would. So the next step I'm going to do, now that I've got my references marked, I'm going to plane these down to the right thickness. And on this piece here is just a little bit thicker, and I knew one of them was a little more, but not a whole lot. just to rehash what I just did. I started with a board, I resawed it down the middle, I cut the miters on the end, matched these up, and then I cut the short ends off of here, and then what I was left over I had the long ends. So in essence what I'm going to do is I'm going to unfold this thing, and this will show you how to get the end grain. So I'm going to unfold this way, unfold this around here, and then this one was actually attached to here, so now we unfold this way. And if I'm right on 45 degrees, once I square this thing up, this should be have a continuous grain match all the way around. Okay, I thought I'd take a break here from the background music and explain how I made the pulls. Since this was already made, this was leftover stock from a similar project last year. I thought about taking the offcut from this and just turning knobs, but these pulls I thought looked so fantastic on the previous box I built that I wanted to discuss a bit how I made that. So let me zoom in here. Okay, this stock here, this is the profile. It started out it started out as a wider stock. This is the offcut once I had done all the shaping. And the way I did this, and I'm going to try to hold this together. It's not working too well. I'll just take this piece and cover it. I did this on a router table, and you need a piece wider than what your actual workpiece is to provide support during the shaping operation. And the way I did it, I just took the bits that I had. This is I think this is a 1/2 inch core box bit. And the very first step was to raise this bit, and I made several passes. This is Coca-Cola, and it's a pretty dense wood, so I took multiple passes until I got to the thickness I desired, and that thickness was, I think I chose 10 millimeters, which is roughly 3/8 of an inch. And then once I got that done, I just basically had a half moon here. The next step was to replace the bit in the router table, and my suggestion is to not use a straight bit. Use what's called a planing bit, and what this will do, this will give you a much smoother finish on the inside, as opposed to leaving little arc marks on it, which is what you'll do if you use a regular straight bit. So this is a bottom planing bit, and I just took it down to where I got the thickness that I desired here. I took and replaced the bit on my router table and used I think this is a 1/2 inch radius roundover bit. Don't use a beading bit, but a roundover bit to take this portion of the curve of the arc. The next step, I replaced that 1/2 inch bit with a 1/4 inch bit, and I flipped the piece over and used that to cut this portion of the arc. And now I had roughly, I think it was a little more than 3/4 of an inch thick, and 1/4 inch radius there and 1/2 inch there. So this was real close. And pretty much I was done with the router table at that point. So basically I had a piece that looked sort of like this, actually. But I had a sharp corner here right on the inside. What I did with the inside face is I took a block plane, if I can get it shown here, and then I just hand rounded over the inside face of this, or inside corner, to eliminate the sharpness. So that was the step I got to get to this profile, and then I just took it to the table saw and ripped that piece off, and I pretty much had my profiled stock. box has turned out pretty nice. I'm not sure that I'm real fond of this little discoloration in the Coca-Cola, but I hope you've enjoyed this video, and feel free to post any comments or questions. Thank you for watching.